We get to go up there? I've always wanted to.
Oh God, we gotta go up there.
Excellent.
No.
Just make sure mic's on.
How do you work this? When you run the video, it's already on, yeah. This.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here for our monthly School Bond Advisory Board meeting. My name is Jessica Martinez-Burks, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Vice Chair for this committee, newly elected. Carl Edwards is not here today to run the meeting, so I'd like to go ahead and formally call the meeting to order. And our second item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes, and I believe we had these forwarded to us prior to our meeting, so I would entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
All those in favor? Do we have to vote with the... Red is... Oh. There we go. All right. All right. And you should have also received the schedule for all of the advisory board meetings for the upcoming year. Our next meeting will be August the 8th. No, July 11th, excuse me, at 3:30 here in the council chambers. Absolutely.
You'll see that the meetings are scheduled here in advance for your convenience. It was mentioned that the meetings would be the first Tuesday of the month, but because of various things, such as even the availability of this room, we've had to move those around a little bit, and it also coincides with how the items will go to council and how the items will go to back and forth from the school board. So that's why they're not all exactly on that first Tuesday, and you'll see that that's really just during the summer months. That's why the difference.
Is everybody good with those meeting times still? Okay, great. And I forgot to welcome our newest member of the board, Mr. Reggie Jackson. How are you, sir?
Doing fine, thank you.
Would you like to introduce yourself and
Sure.
tell us a little bit about yourself?
Reggie Johnson. I am a career banker, 23 years, been in Oklahoma City the last 13 years, and do a lot of different things and over the last years. Happy to be here and happy to be of service to the city of Oklahoma City.
Raul, you want to introduce yourself?
Raul Fon, I'm the president of the Latino Community Development Agency.
I'm Pete White, former councilman, trying to retire.
And I'm Jessica Martinez Brooks.
Carol Garrett, Municipal Counselor's Office.
Tim McLaughlin with the Energy FC soccer team and Fields of Futures.
Justin Ellis.
All right, very good. Well, welcome. Thank you, Reggie. All right, and item number 4, I'm going for a record time to beat last month's meeting. So item 4, we have David Todd, who will be presenting some change orders for us.
Excuse me, Madam Chair. You need to make a motion to approve the schedule. Thank you.
Okay. Can we get an approval for, wait, do I have to call for a first and a second? Okay.
So moved. Seconded.
All those in favor? Any opposed? There we go.
Okay, you ready to go to item 4?
Yes, sir.
Item 4 is recommend Independent School District number 89 approve change order number 2, I-89 2007 school bond issue project S7-0010B, gymnasiums at Quail Creek and Stanley Hupfield Academy at Western Village Elementary School, an increase of $18,307. Jeez, I can't even say that number. You're seeing this because prior to now, the Maps for Kids Trust was seeing all the 2007 school bond projects, and now that has been assigned to this board. There's still some documents that need to be sent to the trust, and that was discussed in the meeting prior to this, but that's why you're seeing this as a change order when you haven't seen the plans or any of that. You're jumping in midstream here, but it's just how it's been assigned. So I can go over the change order with you. There are 6 items in here. Item 1 is some storm drain and drain relocations under the gym floor. When they started excavation, they found this storm line and did not know it was there, and it's having to be relocated. At Quail Creek Elementary, OG&E required an electrical disconnect, a non-fused electrical disconnect, and that was the $14.97. And then architectural louvers, both at Stanley Hupfield and Quail Creek Elementary for the same price as $4,512. The FEMA-rated louvers protect for what needs to be as far as the storms, but they're not necessarily completely weather-tight, and the additional louvers needed to be added to that. I might add that all the other schools received these louvers, but this was just left off of these plans inadvertently, wasn't included in the plans. And then items 5 and 6 are requests from the school district to go to LED fixtures at Quail Creek and at Stanley Hupfield in lieu of the fluorescent fixtures that were specified.
Is there any questions to the change orders? Yes, Justin?
Are we going to see all change orders to this board instead of...
On the 07 bond stuff, yes, sir, from here on out. And you'll also see amendments, final acceptance, everything that has to do with the with those projects.
Do you know what the remaining budget is on the 07 line?
I don't know what the number is. There's just a few projects left. We've made considerable progress. I think that we just reported there were 28 gymnasiums that we've finished up through now.
Is there a fund balance besides that? Or is the money that's left still just in each individual project?
Well, it's not necessarily broken out like this. This is the school bond issue. It's not the Maps for Kids money that's set up that way. But I can get you a report on that. I'm sorry I don't have that at my fingertips. But really all we're assigned is to complete the projects themselves and not necessarily manage the money.
I guess the point of my question is there contingency left at all in the 07 money, or is it all specifically project by project?
It's not set up, as I said, as we had with Maps for Kids or with Maps 3. It's budgets that we have with the school district for these projects, and we communicate with them as far as these change orders and how they've got it budgeted. I think Mr. Clowers has some of that information from the Maps for Kids Trust.
Yeah, I don't have the financial information, but pertaining to the question you asked, as David said, there have been 28 classroom and gym projects completed and final accepted. There are still 15 gym projects under construction at various elementary schools, and then there's 2 gym projects still in design at 4 more elementary schools.
Yeah, I'm still, I know it's not like Maps for Kids, but is all the money in one budget as opposed to there being, and the projects are spread out across that, or is the money allocated project by project? That's what I'm asking.
I'd have to defer to Scott, maybe if he could help us with that.
I'm just trying to get my arms around what the role of this board's going to be going forward.
Right. Scott Randall, Oklahoma City Public Schools. In regards to the yes, getting my yes, the L, and yes for Kids mixed up here, but yes for Kids, which was passed in 2007, included the construction of gymnasiums at, I'm working off the top of my head, 48 elementary schools, and included 54 additional classrooms. And project management associated that was through an MOU to be handled by the MAPS Project Office. And so that's been the MAPS Project Office involvement as far as yes for Kids. When that budget was originally established, it was actually constructing gymnasiums. So within the, let me back up a little bit further here. Within the bond authorization itself, it did designate funding specifically or restricted it to the use for the construction of gymnasiums, classrooms, roofing projects, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, et cetera. But again, the only items that fell within Maps for Kids was just the gymnasiums and the classrooms. Of course, halfway through Yes for Kids, we had a contingency budget to address issues that came up as far as how we were, the construction of the gymnasiums, anything that may come up that was not necessarily foreseen or planned for. Basically halfway through Yes for Kids and the construction of the gymnasiums, we also, those then became safe rooms based on building code. There was a change in that, and so what happened at that point in time, the contingency funds that were set aside for all of the gymnasiums, for the 48 gymnasiums, really began to be consumed by the remaining gymnasiums. Off the top of my head, David, I want to say it was either 26 or 28 gymnasiums that remained at the time that the building code changed for the new construction of the gymnasiums. And so the contingency within the MAPS or within the gymnasium section of the Yes for Kids bond authorization has been consumed. We've also had some contingency within some other areas that we've had to push into that funding source to be able to complete the gymnasiums as safe rooms. And so within those projects, there is no contingency funds remaining.
Okay. I think you've answered my question, and that is that in the bond issue, there were gymnasiums to be built, and X number of dollars were allocated to those projects, not that specific gym, but all those gyms, right?
Correct, yes.
And you spend all that money down, and we won't know until we get all the gyms built and done whether there is any money left in the bond or not, right?
Right, that is correct.
Okay. That's answered my question.
From a budget perspective, we think we can complete that construction within that.
That answers it.
So just to clarify, we are still spending money from the previous MAPS project through this change order.
It's not MAPS
Not
money.
the YES money.
This is the YES money.
This is the YES money that's being allocated for previous projects from the MAPS money.
No, there's no MAPS money involved or
Okay.
MAPS anything on this. It's just the MAPS office that has been managing the gymnasium projects.
Okay.
This just merges the supervision of the 07 and the 16 bond issue
That's
to
right.
this board. That's what, it doesn't
That's
touch
right.
MAPS money at all, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Another question. I know the difference between MAPS money projects and Oklahoma City Public Schools. Is the MAPS guideline still upholding on the remaining of this project of the 07 Yes for Kids?
You mean the way we've been managing it?
Yes.
Yes, it will be identical. We will continue to operate the same way we have been, but it will just be under the oversight of this board instead of the trust.
Totally understand that. Will you have to have authorization from this board and the MAPS board then?
No, just
Okay,
this
just
board.
this board and then managed oversight by the MAPS
Office,
office?
yes.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? Yes.
Question, how many remaining gyms are left to be built that either have been started or at the beginning stages of being started?
There are 15 gyms under construction right now.
And those are in various stages. Some of them have
Right.
kind of just started, some of them are nearing completion.
There are plans underway, final plans are underway for gyms at 3 schools, and a preliminary design is underway for a gym at another school. So there's 4 in design and 15 under construction.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Obviously, the concern is if it's one pool of money, do you be used in aggregate for the construction of all the schools? And there are school gyms and there's gyms that have not started yet. Will there be enough funds left over for those remaining schools? So I think that's more to the question that Pete was trying to get to, if I'm not. And that's my question as well.
I'm going to let Scott answer that question.
And yes, we are confident in terms of where we're at, what we've been seeing as far as when we put the gymnasium safe rooms out for bid. We are confident from an overall budget perspective that we will be able to complete the remaining gymnasiums and be able to award those bids when we get to that point in the phase.
Does this committee have access to those list of schools completed and to be completed?
We will put all that together for you. This is all just kind of happening fast on us.
Okay.
But I will get all that to you.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Any other comments? I got a motion to approve from Pete. Do I got a second?
I'll second.
Second. Can I get a vote? Okay. Item passes. Are there any comments by board, staff, or concerned citizens?
Yes. In our prior notes from the prior meeting, we had I think Scott was going to make a recommendation potentially on a kind of an emergency fund so we can move quickly and so if we're not able to get with the board's approval quickly so he can operate in an efficient manner, especially as we're thinking about the summer months right now. And if there's any issues addressing in the buildings especially, then let's go get those things done that are why everyone's out of the buildings type of thing. So I think that was, remember that kind of discussion. I saw that in the notes. But did you get a chance to make a recommendation to that point?
Scott and I are working on that and putting together a document to clarify how that will work. We're meeting, I believe, on the Monday to go over that on the 12th, yeah.
Okay.
So again, we're trying to get all our things in line here with this thing to start, and we've also got some housekeeping things that we need to do at the next meeting also, but you'll be seeing those very soon.
Fantastic. Yeah, I just don't want to be in a spot where we're slowing down any progress.
Absolutely.
Things.
A question just to piggyback on that. Will that delay us from expediting things that can and should take place during the summertime and not wait on this board to meet?
We'll do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen. It is an interesting situation that I have that you guys need to oversee this, but we're trying to move along. So again, Scott and I will get together, and if we have to have a special meeting or something, get you guys together again to approve some things. But last thing we want to do is impede progress on construction.
And then what about things that happen in between? I know that for us meeting once a month, let's say an air conditioner goes out today, and it's on part of the bond issue, which we should that would be in, let's say, 6 months from now. Is that possible for him to get it fixed now and not wait the 1 or 2, 3 months for it to come through this board and through his school board to get here, for him to get the air conditioner that he needs now?
That's part of the thing that we're going to work through. If we can set a threshold of where staff can approve, I think that's what you're talking about, or maybe if it's above another threshold, that a call can be made maybe to the chairman of this board, or chairman of the Board of Education, those kind of things that we're going to set up and see how we can work that out.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Additional comments? Concerns? Welcome? High fives? Anything? All right. Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? All right. Are we voting? And we're good. Thank you all.
I was going to tell you, it gets confusing. The best way to do it is